So, welcome to the course about MATLAB. I'm going to start with just talk about what is MATLAB. So, MATLAB is a software package. As you see, if you open MATLAB, you see something like this, and it's a software package for high performance numerical computation and visualization. The name MATLAB by itself, it's short for Matrix Laboratory. And all the numbers in MATLAB are treated as matrix. So 2 is, if you type 2 here, MATLAB will look at it as a 1 by 1 matrix. So if you remember from what is a matrix? So MATLAB stands for Matrix Laboratory, right? And it's a software that for high performance numerical computation, usually when you deal with matrices. So why? Because MATLAB stands for Matrix Laboratory. Matrix, what is matrix? When you have group of, in this case, numbers, and these matrices that you classify them in a matrix. So MATLAB looks at numbers at matrices. Even if you type 2 for MATLAB, it will be 1 by 1 matrix with 2 inside. If you have something like this, for example, this is an array or a 1 by 2 matrix, right? So that's why the name MATLAB stands for Matrix Laboratory. And why we use MATLAB? Because MATLAB, either you can write a function or use MATLAB's built-in functions that they usually provide excellent tools for linear algebra computation, data analysis. You know, nowadays it's a big topic. And then signal processing and many other types of scientific computations, they all use MATLAB. Data science, as I said, it's like a big thing now, and all these big scientific computation, they can be done with MATLAB. And then with MATLAB, the other thing you can do is you can plot numerous functions for 2D, even 3D graphics, as well as you can use MATLAB for animation, as you will see in this course later. In numerical computation, especially those that use, as I said, vectors, this is a vector, for example, and matrices, MATLAB is the software to use. So that's kind of my introduction to MATLAB. Again, MATLAB stands for Matrix Lab. It is used for numerical computation, such as signal processing, data analysis, and at the core, MATLAB looks at numbers at matrices. That's why it's called Matrix Lab. And you can, if you see something like this, that's an array, which is a kind of a matrix, okay? So that's MATLAB introduction. And then when you launch MATLAB, you see something like this. So as you see, they are some basic windows that I want to talk about now. This is the MATLAB desktop that you see. This is one of the main windows, and when you learn how to create figures with MATLAB, another window will pop up. That's called figure window. That's another basic window of MATLAB. and then editor window that I will talk about later. So today I'm going to talk about the MATLAB 3 basic windows. Okay, 3 basic windows. One of them is just what you see here when you launch MATLAB. So MATLAB desktop, this is what you see, as I said, when you launch MATLAB. It consists of command window, as you see here, and you have command prompt, MATLAB command prompt here, as you see that you can write your code. And then here, another thing that you see here is the current folder. This is where all your files from the current directory is listed. So you can browse for folder on top and open it and find your MATLAB files. By default, MATLAB will save all your stuff and codes in documents in a folder called MATLAB. So they're here. If you save it somewhere else, then you have to provide the path. So this is the folder where I am now from the current directory. And then you see here, there's a details pane here. Details of the file will be shown here. You will see more on this later when we open different files, but this is part of the current folder. The details of the file that you select will show up here. And then here is workspace pane. It's as you write the code, it will list all the variables here and that you have generated. So when you write a code, you create some variables and they will be saved in workspace, as you will see later. Then you can because it's saved here, later you can come back, for example, to analyze them, plot them. They're saved for you. So that will cover all these windows that you see here. And these ones we'll see later. These are for the plus, and these are different apps that when you get more advanced, you can use that curve fitting, optimization, PID tuner, and so on. So, but for now, for the beginners, this is all we are going to work. So I'll comment another window that you will work with. If you go to new script, you see editor here. So I just opened by clicking on a new editor. This is called editor window. This is where you write, edit, create, and then you can save your own programs in a file called M file. So command windows, you can type and you get your output here. But if you want to save your codes and program, you should use editor. So you go to new and you open a script and you put it here, you write your codes here, you run it, and then it's saved. It's you will see that they are, when you save it in a file called M file. MATLAB provides its own built-in editor, as you see here. However, you can use your own editor by typing the standard file editing commands that you normally use on your system. But for this course, we are going to use the built-in editor of MATLAB. But it's good to know that you can use your own editor. There's a way to do that. Another good thing about MATLAB is that it has online help. So it provides online help. When you can type help, and then whatever you have questions with, you can, and you will see all of this later. It's just, I want to expose you to different features. So it has online help, and even MATLAB has demos. So it has a demonstration program that shows many of its features. So for example, if you type demo, all these examples and products will come, and it's pretty rich, the help that you can get. So this is the demo, and then for help, you can get help with different, it depends on what you want help with, then you type help, and then whatever you have questions with. So I just typed help, and all these materials in help came up. But as you will see, specifically, you can ask for some keyword, for example, you don't know what they are, and you just type it. So that's another good thing about MATLAB. MATLAB creates a default folder, as I said here. So when you type a code here, MATLAB creates a default folder called MATLAB inside documents. It's the same thing. This is a PC, but it's the same thing on Macs, Mac computers, where it saves your file if you don't specify any other location. If you're the only user of MATLAB on the computer you're working on, this is fine. Otherwise, create a separate file to save your work. Otherwise, your work will be shared with others. Okay?